Welcome to the Karizma Speaks podcast. Karizma delves deep into the heart of the controversy, uncovering truths and voicing opinions on provocative topics, fair use commentary, analytical insights, and a search for justice. This isn't for the faint of heart. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The exposing continues right here on Karizma Speaks. Hey, welcome back to my channel, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about the UnitedHealthcare CEO's death and unfortunately how it was considered justice for many. If you don't know what happened, I'm going to get into all the details. We're going to deep dive into this today. All right. So make sure you hit the like button. Shout out to my subscribers, my supporters. We're just going to break everything down. And at the end of the video, I want to know your thoughts. If you are joining us live today, just please be civil about this because this is very controversial, excuse me. So let's get right into it. Okay. I have pictures to share with you guys and I have details. I've been doing my research on this. So let's get right into it. So there has been controversy surrounding the death of 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. I'm going to put a picture of him up here so you guys know who he is. Many of you have already seen this picture, but we're going to put up the picture and the statement from United Health Group. So let's just continue. On Wednesday, December 4th, 2024, 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, was fatally shot outside of the Hilton Midtown Hotel in New York City. According to the UnitedHealthcare's parent company, UnitedHealth Group, they described themselves as a quote, healthcare and well-being company with a mission to help people live healthier lives. Thompson was walking without security to an annual meeting with investors when an unidentified masked male shot him from behind. Okay, so the statement that they put out on their social media accounts and on their website is, "We are deeply saddened and shocked at the passing of our dear friend and colleague, Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. Brian was a highly respected colleague and friend to all who worked with him. We're working closely with the New York Police Department and ask for your patience and understanding during this difficult time. Our hearts go out to Brian's family and all who were close to him." Now, this was on video. So they caught the shooter on video and he had on a mask, a backpack that people have identified, or that the NYPD identified. They found the backpack in the park. He took a bike and then ran. I guess he rode the bike to Central Park in New York. And then from there, he started to walk on foot and just travel. So he left that same day from New York City. So there is still a manhunt going on, and people are still wanting to know who this person is. They said that the police already know who he is, but they're not making it public because they want him to continue to think he's going to get away with it or something like that. Now, on social media, there was a very, very shocking response. Like, you don't normally get this type of reaction on social media, but a lot of people were actually celebrating this guy's death. They were saying insensitive things. People were bringing up their personal lives and personal situations where their health insurance or someone they know or love, their health insurance claim was denied. Now, a lot of people don't really know how healthcare work, and this is actually something that I'm majoring in healthcare management. And I really hope that we can definitely change the healthcare system because it's a mess, to say the least. It is a mess. So, if you really don't know what healthcare involves, I'll just say a little bit um about what it is. All right. Health insurance is basically insurance in healthcare needed to cover healthcare costs. All right. So if you have insurance, you either have it with your employer or you have it with the government, such as Medicare um, and Medicaid. So those are public health insurance companies. And this one, I believe they serve Medicare Advantage patients, and they also are a private healthcare insurer. So your paycheck, the money that goes to your health insurance that comes out of your paycheck if you work, that goes to your insurance company. So, say you get sick, you go to the doctor, and the health insurance is supposed to cover a certain part, or they are supposed to give you like your copay, let you know what you have to pay if you go to the doctor's visit, and they have like the whole like benefits and everything like that laid out, what's covered, what's not. So pretty much that's what it is. I'm just trying to simplify it. So people are saying that United Healthcare was literally the companies, because this is a mega company, one of the companies that was denying their patients claims more than they were, twice as much, I'll say twice as much as every other company in the industry. So that means that people whose claims were denied, they couldn't get a certain healthcare service covered. So people are upset because they said that this company is basically letting people die, according to why people are upset online. Some people express that they they were a patient, or their wife, their spouse, their husband, someone in their family was a patient and they got their medical claims denied. Some people passed away, some people are still sick. So a lot of people, I think, were triggered by this entire thing. So I don't think it's personally against him. All right. Unless someone comes out and said that he personally did something to them, I don't think that the majority of people are glorifying his death. I think that it's more of a symbol of the overall um reaction of people, period, when it comes to healthcare and this system that we have in the United States. This is just due to bad experiences, denials. This is the healthcare industry as a whole, not just the insurance companies. This is a whole experience that many people have faced. So they are tired, we are tired, because I mean, I've had some experiences too, and we know that healthcare is so expensive. Like, that is the top thing. It's so expensive that some people do not have it because they can't afford it. It's so many other things to worry about. And this should be something that's affordable. Many people believe this should be something that's affordable and accessible to all people. So this is a cry for change. I believe this is a cry for change. And it's sad that it had to come out this way, but certain healthcare companies like um I'm not gonna name them because I forgot the names and I didn't write it down, so I'm not gonna say it, but I saw something on social media where it said a certain health company, um, changed one of their policies. So this is causing change. This is what makes it so bittersweet. I don't think we are celebrating this person's death. My condolences to him and his family. I don't think this is personally against him, but I think it's more to the story. I think it's more to the story about who he may have harmed. It could be something personal, somebody who knew him, he did something to somebody. Um, I can't speak for anyone he's personally allegedly may have harmed financially or professionally. I don't know. I really don't know. And so far no one has come out and exposed them for that. So until that happens, people are saying that they are not supporting the actual shooter. Some people are, and unfortunately, that's the dark reality of it. Some people don't mind showing that they are supporting what he did, but I think it's misplaced energy. I think it's misplaced blame on this guy in particular, and not the entire healthcare system, and that you're just sick and tired of where we are as a whole in this country. The pay sucks. A lot of our jobs suck. A lot of insurance companies suck. It's just, and then right now during this time, during the holidays, you know, there's Thanksgiving, there's Christmas, there's birthdays. People are stressed out. They spent their last dimes on these holidays and things to bring their family together. Food's up. Um, Bills are up. Everything's up, but our salaries, it seems. So I think people are just frustrated and they are tired. And I can't blame them for that. I will say there are some comments that are insensitive. However, I think it's misplaced energy, and that will be left to debate, because I can't say what's right or what's wrong when people are expressing how they feel. But all I can ask you is this your best? Are you on your best behavior though on the internet? Are you still keeping yourself in control? And would you want this to happen to you or your family? Would you want people to say that about your dad, your mom, somebody you love? So I think we just have to be balanced a lot of the times. I've been there before too. When Kevin Samuels died, if you know who that was, I did celebrate his death. I did. And that was not the best way to go about it, but that's how I felt at the time, because he was so hateful towards black women, in my opinion, overall. So I just think that that's a similar feeling that people have towards the healthcare industry as a whole. So I think he represented, unfortunately, in his murder, he represented the entire healthcare industry, unfortunately. So people are looking at the bigger picture. They're looking at this guy representing the entire healthcare, why their mom's medical insurance got denied, why their brother couldn't have the surgery, why they can't afford prescription medication. The weight of all that from everybody, the frustration, unfortunately, it fell on him, and he became the face of not only United Healthcare, but of the industry, entire healthcare industry, unfortunately. So people just kind of let it out on his death. Um, and I think that's how people were looking at it. I don't think they were necessarily saying that they're happy he's gone, because honestly, is this going to solve the problem? Or are laws going to change things? Because what can they do? They're still going to deny claims. So it can't be a 100% approval rate. I mean, it's still going to be some issue in the healthcare industry. So now what are they going to do? Just take people out because of frustration? Okay. So let's continue with what happened and where we are now with everything. Um, Let me bring up my notes here. So, in the wake of his death, all these companies came out giving statements. Some things were actually changed overnight in some of the policies. Um, but who's to say that that will remain that way? You know what I mean? So, anyways, after he was murdered, there were shell casings recovered from the scene that had the words deny, defend, and depose written on them in a Sharpie, according to an investigation source. Investigators believe the motive could have been related to denied medical claims. So I'm going to go through what has been found already. And I'm also going to kind of break down kind of what happened in order. Okay. So make sure you like the video first. If you are enjoying this, share the video so others can get into this because this is serious. This is serious. And I am as anxious as anybody else to know who this guy is, honestly, because it's becoming like this crazy mystery. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Um, the shell casings, as I stated, that was recovered from the scene had the words deny, defend, depose written on them in a Sharpie. So right now there's still an ongoing mass search and investigation for the mysterious suspect who police believe has already left New York. Investigators and UnitedHealthcare security are working to find a possible motive for the murder, including fired or disgruntled workers, past threats, social media posts, family members, employees, and other people who knew Thompson. So they're investigating and interviewing everybody pretty much. Authorities believe that the suspect traveled from Atlanta to New York City on November 24th via a Greyhound bus. He got there 10 days before the deadly incident. The gunman checked himself into the Hosteling International New York, where he let down his mask to smile at the woman who was working at the front desk. So far, it seems like this guy, they have found that he has some experience shooting guns, shooting weapons, at least some experience, because in the viral video, the gun actually got jammed and he knew he had the knowledge behind guns to know how to unjam it. And he continued firing at the CEO until he passed away pretty much. So he knew how to fire the gun. He knew how to um, get rid of a jam, and he's had everything planned. So they already said that this was premeditated. The CEO was targeted. So once he let down his mask and wanted to smile at the woman at the front desk, that's when authorities were able to catch him, his face on video. And that's been the picture going around on video. Unfortunately, people who are happy about, again, this representing healthcare reform, I guess, they have become admirers of this guy. So it's unfortunate, but a lot of times in our society, we romanticize murderers. And you see that even on Netflix and other streaming services where they have series about the murderer. And the murderer is like this, becomes this celebrity. So that it seems like that's what's happening with this guy. And he's being celebrated. They think this is some movie or something, right? Some type of poetic justice. He left a poem at the murder scene and now no one can find him. So it's like this thrilling movie that you're watching, but unfortunately, I think it's going to end pretty soon because they, according to them, according to reports, they know who this guy is. Okay. All right. So again, there's an ongoing manhunt, a mass search and investigation for this mysterious suspect who police believe have already left NYC. So again, he had a fake ID, checked into the hostel, and he also had a fictitious name. The fake ID was from New Jersey. So this is a multi-state investigation. Atlanta, even Connecticut is in it. Um, J Jersey, I guess, because they had to try to see if this was an actual person, and other more than 40, main police stations, they said, across the country, um, has this picture and has the information. So, again, when he had the mask on, though, and he was inside of the hostel, I guess he spent the night or something. And hostel is just basically a place that people go to and spend a night or two at most. It's not really a place where people stay for a long time unless they really have to. So you could literally just pay a certain amount. It's usually cheaper than a hotel, but you have to sleep with roommates in the room. So they may have bunk beds and there's two other people in there. He was in a room with two other people, but they did not know each other. All right. So him flirting was the main reason and the biggest clue that authorities got to identify him and see his full face. All right. So the woman um, who he was flirting with told the New York Police Department, the NYPD, that she asked him to show his pretty smile. And he did. And that's what the picture is. She asked him to show his pretty smile, and he took off his mask for her and smiled at her. So, again, this helped investigators with focusing on that hostel and zooming in on the people there, the woman at the front desk they interviewed, the two roommates who said he had his mask on the entire time. S- Things that were found. Let's get into that. Okay, things that were found along his route in the park. Um, these were the things that were found. We'll go into that. We'll get into that. The bike that he used to transport himself to Central Park after he shot Brian Thompson. They found the bike. They also found his backpack. On December 6th, the backpack was found in the park, and officers believe this is the one that belonged to the shooter. The evidence in the backpack, which included a jacket and some Monopoly money, which you see here on the screen, was sent to forensics for DNA testing. Potential DNA findings may also be on a cell phone that he was using, and I guess he threw it while he was leaving, or I don't know when he did it, but they found it around the area along his route. So they have a lot of footage. They're going through a lot of footage, a lot of images. So they're just showing us some of them. But according to reports, they have a bunch, so much that they're going through. Additionally, on his way to take out the healthcare CEO, he stopped at Starbucks. Um, yes, he stopped at Starbucks. He ordered a water bottle and a protein bar. So this guy is pretty healthy, right? A protein bar and water bottle were discovered near the crime scene. All of those items, the backpack, the Monopoly money, the other items in the backpack, and then the Starbucks drink and protein bar, they all went to the lab for fingerprinting and DNA testing, and they're being analyzed right now. So they are actually still at that park because at the park there's a lake. They believe that he threw the gun, which had a silencer on it. He, according to witnesses, police believe he may have thrown the gun in the lake. So NYPD divers are looking for the weapon. As we speak, they are actually in the water. NYPD divers looking for the weapon that was used to take the life of the health industry CEO. The FBI is also offering a $50,000 reward for information that could be used for an arrest as they continue to work with the NYPD in their investigation. So some people are like, well, I'm not helping. They show people's comments on social media. I'll put that on the screen here. I removed the names because I don't want people going to mess with these folks. I believe in people having their own opinion. Just keep that over there. I'm just saying, keep it to yourself, put it on social media, whatever, but just don't bring it to me because I'm going to have an opinion too. So let's go ahead and pull up some of what was said. All right. So let me take that off the screen really quick. So I guess this is the main thing here. People are celebrating, but we can point to many instances where people were murdered. I'm not going to get into the breakdown of that because we could point out a lot of instances where people's lives were taken and there were certain people online who celebrated that, but it wasn't publicized. It wasn't on the news. No one cared. Um, but I just want to know why, out of all the instances where people celebrated someone's death online, why are they making this a big deal? Okay. And why are they demonizing people for feeling the way they feel? It, I don't agree with having a competition looking like the murderer. I don't know why they did this in New York. They had a competition of who can look the most like the shooter. That's on them. I don't agree with what people do, and we can't control people. Unfortunately, this is what people do. And I'm just like sitting back looking at everything like people really have lost shame. We are living in a shameless society where people are literally just proud to be evil. And I'm not just talking about this case. I'm just saying it's becoming more and more bold. And people don't see that at this point, none of us are going to be safe if we don't speak out about these type of things. Yes, healthcare is an issue, is going to continue to be an issue. We need to have people in the White House, in the Senate, in the House of Representatives to change things. Taking out this man, no matter how anyone feels, is not going to get your medical claims approved. It's not going to help your loved one. It's not going to bring your loved one back. And I think we have Combine the two, and a lot of people have taken it out on this man that they didn't know. Again, misplaced energy, misplaced anger on this guy, unfortunately, whose death represent the entire healthcare system. So I'm going to read a few things that people said on social media. These were all on X, formerly known as Twitter. Someone said, I just read this and I'm glad no one is helping find hashtag UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson's killer. Law enforcement should have treated Brian Thompson's family exactly like UnitedHealthcare treats its customers, always deny and make them file appeals. The next comment says, today we mourn the death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, gunned down. Wait, I'm sorry. Today we mourn the deaths of the 68,000 Americans who needlessly die each year so that insurance companies execs like Brian Thompson can become multi-millionaires. Another comment says, just a friendly reminder that in 2024, Brian Thompson's leadership led UnitedHealthcare to deny claims to 31.5 million sick Americans. By contrast, undocumented migrants in the USA killed fewer than 20 US citizens during that same time span. So these are just some of the comments that people are saying. And again, it's unfortunate that his death represents the entire healthcare system. And I think people should kind of separate the two, but it's hard to separate the two when he was the CEO. I think it's important that we have to remember that he does not, and no one person in these big organizations make decisions by themselves. Investors have a lot to play in it, right? They need the return on their investment. So the question is, why was he targeted specifically? So was this more personal than we think? Was this someone who knew him? That's what police are looking for. They're trying to find a motive. Right now, and it's just speculation. They don't know. They don't know if it's about health insurance claims being denied. It could be something personal. It could be something that has nothing to do with health insurance. But everybody just assumed because he put the words deny, defend, and depose that he was referring to insurance, an insurance claim being denied that maybe was denied for him or maybe somebody he loved. But honestly, we don't know. We really don't know. So, again, the backpack, let me put that back up here really quick. Make sure you hit the like button if you are on YouTube listening to this and you're enjoying this breakdown. Okay, so let's bring this back up here. All right, if you are on the Karizma Speaks podcast, we're just looking at pictures of clues that I put together here based on all the information from 3 or more sources, reputable sources reporting on this case. All right, 2 pictures show his face, the alleged suspect's face. So far, we know he has a nice smile. He's an attractive guy. And he wore a face mask every other time except when he flirted with this woman. Did he know the woman? Did she know him? Was there anyone else a part of his plan? Or did she ask him to show his pretty smile because she was IDing him? And, some places don't allow you to wear a mask when they're trying to see who you are when you're checking in, maybe getting a hotel or something. Or was that the case? She just wanted to see his full face, make sure it matches the fake ID that he gave her while he flirted with her. You cannot make this up. Fact is always stranger than fiction, I'm telling you. This whole thing is crazy. So, again, everything got sent to the lab. The shell casings, the Starbucks drink, the protein bar from Starbucks, the backpack, the Monopoly money, and whatever else was inside the backpack that they not, going to tell us not right now, that they're not telling us. Huh. I think the people who do know who this is, they're not going to speak up out of fear, out of him being free for how many days? Going on 5 days, and not even the NYPD got a hold of him now. So it's like, who's smarter? This criminal who flirted with the host, the host of the hostel. This criminal, is he smarter than the police? And I think that's why people are intrigued, because they're saying this has to be somebody who has done this, possibly done this before, a professional. Other people are saying, no, he was sloppy. He didn't know what he was doing. Other people are saying, no, that wasn't him being sloppy. That was him being cocky. He wants to be found. He likes this is a game for him. This is like the Riddler, right? This is a game for him. He's leaving clues. He's leaving poetry at the scene. He want you to figure it out. He's flirting. He's showing his face. He's smiling. That's why people are romanticizing him. He's like showing his personality through this murder. It's sick. It's twisted. It is a twisted case. It really is. But you see people again celebrating this, dressing like the new celebrity murderer. So it's like, what is this about now? Like, I'm confused. Like, this just like, is this about healthcare? Is this about insurance? Is this personal? Is this about denied claims? I am so lost. Everyone's venting, everyone's going crazy. Everyone's like, are we like, what? You're this bold out here dressing. We're past Halloween. It's not Halloween anymore. You're dressing like the alleged murderer. I mean, 2025 is going to be a crazy year. That's all I got to say. And everybody have to make sure that they are safe, because with this going on, with all the political stuff going on, and believe me, this is political, because only laws can change healthcare. The healthcare companies can change their policies, but they still have to obey the regulations and the laws. Period. So I wonder what is going to happen when the new administration comes into office. Has there been any statement from anyone regarding this? Anyone from the White House? Or are they just hoping people calm down? Because this is going to open the gates to other crimes like this, because people are now fantasizing about being a suspect, a murderer. And it's getting weird now. Like, I'm legit confused. I get the frustration. I get the anxiety behind healthcare, healthcare bills, your medical bills, your prescriptions, denying claim. I understand that. But is it going too far at this point? Is this getting out of hand? And who's to say that anyone else can get the same treatment and people are going to be dressing like that person? Like, I'm confused. I'm confused. I really am. Okay. Well, the suspect is being described. by the NYPD as a light-skinned man, whatever that means. I don't know if this is a fake description or if this is their real official description, but according to them, he is being described as a light-skinned man. Hmm. He had on a distinctive gray color backpack, according to the NYPD chief, a cream colored or light brown jacket, black and white shoes, sneakers, and a black face mask. So where's the black face mask? Was that on the scene? Because in this picture, he has on a blue one. So he got rid of the other one and then got one of those, the cheap blue ones, or what? And where did he get that from? Right? Do they still have those boxes like when you leave the buildings, or did he have to go in and get it from a healthcare facility? Because I really don't see people wear those type of masks anymore. Not often. Um, Authorities are not, again, they're not saying publicly, but they know who the man is. They know his name. They have his information, and they're just not making it public. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said, if you do make it public, you are basically giving them a tip, and they don't want to give him a tip. They want him to keep thinking that he's getting away with it. So I'm not sure if they're still like looking for more evidence, but maybe that's why they're still investigating this. They want to find the actual weapon. He's not in New York anymore. They think he got on the bus and went to Atlanta. So again, NYPD, police in Atlanta, police everywhere are basically on the manhunt for this guy. So we will continue to see what happens. I just wanted to review everything. Um, Again, my condolences. I don't wish death on no one. I don't. Again, I feel from my perspective, from my opinion, that most people, not the ones that went to the extreme doing too much, but the average person who's upset is not directed personally towards him. It's towards the healthcare system as a whole. Insurance coverage, denial of services, high bills, high medical bills, high co-pays and co-insurance. Like, it has nothing to do with him personally. I think, again, is a reflection of the healthcare system and how a lot of people feel about it at this point in time. So that's where I think that's where um the White House should pay more attention to and start to think on change when it comes to healthcare, because otherwise things like this might continue to happen. I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen in 2025, but it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild with people with this mentality roaming the streets. Again, I get it. I completely understand as a patient, as somebody who's going to be in the field, advocating for patients. But is this the way to go? I mean, really, is this the way to go? I think we can express ourselves in a better way. Again, I've been there before. I've been there before, celebrating somebody's death. But again, I feel it's not the death in particular, it's the death of something in their life. Whether that was a loved one, whether it was because of a denied claim, some sort of death that people felt was necessary. Unfortunately, in his case, he represented the entire healthcare industry, every denied claim in the world, every prescription price. Unfortunately, is sad, but this is how people looked at him. He was the scapegoat because there's something bigger going on here. And even though he was a CEO, those investors have more power than those CEOs because they're putting money into the company. They're the real controllers. They tell them pretty much how to make the money back. And if that's denying 1/3 of all their patients' claims, then that's what they're going to do. Also, there were reports, alleged reports, I don't know if it's true or not, that said that he was using him. I don't know, allegedly, I don't know if it was him personally, but that UnitedHealthcare was using AI to deny claims. So they have a robotic software going over your claim and denying it. So I think that needs to be investigated as well, because if 1/3 of claims are denied, and you have how many patients? They serve how many people? They cover how many people? Millions. And you're denying 1/3 of all your patients. Something is wrong with that, especially if that's twice the amount of denials in the industry altogether. So, unfortunately, he was the scapegoat. He was the scapegoat, and he had to be the one, the sacrificial lamb to the health insurance industry for there to be change. That's how it's appearing to me. That's how it's appearing to me. Um, the CEO's wife, Paulette, I want to bring a picture of her up here because no one really showed his family. And I think it's important to show the full picture too. Um, Again, unless they did something very, very hateful to you personally, I don't know why some people are being as hateful as they are. Um, but again, if he did something to harm that person directly that I don't know about, then maybe that'll bring more context to the story. So his wife, Paulette, this is his wife, allegedly, named Paulette. She said that he told her before he was murdered, he told her that people were threatening him. He didn't give her any more information. He didn't say who those people were or any other details, but she assumes, obviously now, that the threats were because of insurance coverage issues. All right. So Brian had two sons as well. These are his two sons with his wife. And this is a picture, I guess, of him with the family when they were younger. So I just want to give a rounded view of the separation between our personal um what's the word? Frustrations, disappointments with the healthcare system, and him who was doing a job. We have to remember he was just doing a job. And I think it got blended together to the point of people being extreme and out of control. And again, I wish people reported more on the full story, because would they have cared if it was anyone else? Do they care when certain people from certain races die? Some do, but some don't. And again, these are just issues that we have in society, period. This healthcare system definitely needs to be reformed. It needs to be changed. I think they need to listen to the people. This is not going to work if more people come up unalived because of people's frustrations. We can't use that as an excuse. We really can't, because this could be any one of us next. So I think people have the right to their opinion, as long as the opinion doesn't steer off into hatred and celebrating a murderer, or wanting to dress like a murderer, glamorizing the murderer, making them into a celebrity. And this is why some of them do it. So this is, I think, encouraging the wrong idea. I don't think what people did in this situation affects everyone's point of view and how everyone feels. But I think that this situation, again, he had to be the sacrificial lamb, um, to for someone. He had to be the person. He was, again, the scapegoat. Is somebody else who's more powerful than him. There's investors. There are investors. So now, the CEO, excuse me, another health insurer company, Centene, they confirmed that they would be moving their upcoming investors meeting that was in person. They're now moving it virtual. So there's going to be more virtual meetings because of this. Maybe there will be more work from home positions. But I think that this is going to change a lot of things, because it could be anybody else. Where do we draw the line? A statement from Centene, again, another healthcare company that's very popular. Um, they said, all of us at Centene are deeply saddened by Brian Thompson's death and want to express our support for all of those affected. Sarah M. London, Centene's chief executive officer, said that in a company statement. All right. Again, they are searching for the guy. Who knows what will happen? We will see. We will continue to see if they unmask the guy and identify him publicly, and we can see who he is and what the motive was. But yeah, this is really going to change a lot of things. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one. Again, it's very sad. I don't wish that on nobody. I don't wish getting shot from the back um unexpectedly on a Wednesday morning. I don't wish that on nobody. And I would never wish death on anybody. However, if that person was hateful, if they caused death, I mean directly, you know what I mean? If they caused my family or myself harm, then it may be a different thing. So I can't say that people were wrong or right. They have the right to feel how they feel, but I think that it could be shown in a better way, a more constructive way, still voicing your opinion, still being yourself, but in a more constructive way than this specific incident. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you all think of this. I appreciate everyone tuning in today. You can look up this information yourself. Please do your own research. I got my sources, what, ABC News, AP News, CBS. I went on different sites and got information. So Just make sure you guys are well informed about these situations. Don't get too carried away online with people making up stuff, speculation. Get all the facts first. Just my advice. And then make up your mind from there. Make up your mind from there. Are they wrong or are they right for feeling how they feel? Having a dress up contest, dressing like the murderer, was that a appropriate reaction? Is that something that we could teach our children? I mean, is this a good example of how to respond or react to news? I'm just asking the questions because we're going to have to live in this world where people are saying that everything is okay. And I don't hear anyone objecting to things that are not okay. I don't. Everything is like okay. And that is scary. That's scary. I don't think, again, anyone deserves to have their life taken from them by anybody. I think that's just terrifying. I think a lot of us are scared of that. You know, I don't think it should be celebrated. I think we need to remember that it could happen to any one of us and anyone in our family too. And even if certain people are defending certain things, can we be better than this? This is all I'm asking. Can we be better than this? Or is this the best that is going to get? Social media, man. I mean, it really desensitized a lot of us. Social media, the news, certain broadcasts, video games, TV, reality TV, so much influence us and desensitize us to stuff like this to the point where you're not even surprised anymore. You're not shocked anymore at people's reactions. You're not shocked that people are celebrating the killer. You're not shocked because they've done it before. So why is this case so significant? It's because he's a CEO. We have to talk about that aspect too. Again, not putting any negative energy out there, but it is because he's a CEO and he has money. So money matters to a lot of people. And that's why his death was covered the way it is. All right. He's a white male on top of that. Okay. So let's not pretend that in other cases, people are not celebrating as well because it happens more often than we think. So I'm looking again, I'm playing the devil's advocate right now. I like to look at both sides of the coin to try to get a whole picture of everybody's point of view, what people are feeling and thinking, what this represents, what does this symbolize, what will happen moving forward in healthcare. Will that discourage people from being nurses and being CEOs and getting in healthcare because of how crazy healthcare has been in the past years? Will this help us or will this hurt us? Is this the way to go about making change? Putting things into our own hands? I don't know. These are questions that I ask. So let me know what you all think. I appreciate you all tuning in today to the Charisma Speaks podcast and Charisma Speaks YouTube channel. Let me know your thoughts below. I will see you on the next episode of Karizma Speaks. Share the video, hit the like button on your way out. Shout out to my supporters who are watching and everybody who's going to watch the replay. Okay. All right. I'm out, y'all. Peace.